The man who rose from nothing and changed American history. A boy was born in a small log cabin. The family did not have a lot of money, did not have the opportunity to study in a good school, did not have any powerful identity. Early in life, he had to see poverty, hardship, and one failure after another. But that boy, one day, became the President of America. Not just a president, a leader who dedicated his entire life to saving America from collapse. His name was Abraham Lincoln. This is not just the story of a president. This is the story of a man who, despite falling repeatedly, stood up every time.
Abraham Lincoln was born on February 12, 1809, in a small log cabin in Kentucky. His family was poor. He did not have much opportunity to study in a modern school as a child, but he had an indomitable desire to learn. Whenever he got a book, he would read it. While others spent their free time, Lincoln would immerse himself in the pages of books. For him, books were not just a means of acquiring knowledge. Books were a window to understanding the world. He learned a lot on his own, and this self-education gradually set him apart from others.
Lincoln's life did not begin with a success story. He tried to do business and failed. He tried to enter politics and failed. At different stages of his life, he had to face many situations where an ordinary person would have given up everything. There was also deep sadness and grief in his personal life. But Lincoln's greatest strength was one thing: he did not give up. Every failure taught him something new. Every defeat made him stronger. He understood, failure does not mean the end. The end is when a person stops trying. When Abraham Lincoln became President of the United States in 1861, the country was in a terrible crisis. There was a deep division in American society and politics over slavery. At one point, several southern states declared their secession from the Union.
The American Civil War began. People from the same country took up arms against each other, brother against brother, friend against friend. Countless families lost their loved ones. Lincoln had an impossible task before him. He didn't just have to lead a war, he had to save an entire nation. In 1863, Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation. Through it, the slaves of the rebellious states were declared free. This marked a turning point in American history. Then, he gave a historic speech at Gettysburg. The speech was very short, but its message was huge. Lincoln spoke of an America where the ideals of freedom, democracy, and human equality would survive. His words were not just for the people of that time. They became a symbol of America's democratic ideals for the next generation. Being a leader is as honorable as it seems from the outside, but it is as difficult from the inside. Lincoln received terrible news of war every day. Thousands of deaths came from the battlefield. Families were losing their children, husbands, or brothers. And the burden of all those people's suffering seemed to fall on Lincoln's shoulders. He knew that people would have to pay for every decision he made, yet he did not shy away from his responsibility, because he believed that he had the responsibility to protect the future of a nation. In 1865, the Civil War was almost over. America was slowly moving towards peace. But just then, a terrible incident occurred. On the night of April 14, Lincoln went to see a play at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C.
That night, he was seriously wounded by an assassin's gun. The next day, April 15, 1865, Abraham Lincoln died. The man who fought for years to hold America together, he never saw a peaceful America for himself. The story of Abraham Lincoln is not just the story of a president. It is the story of an ordinary man becoming extraordinary. Starting from a small log cabin, he rose to the highest place of power in America. He saw poverty. He saw failure. He saw personal grief. He saw the horrors of war. Yet he did not stop. And this is where his story still touches the hearts of people today. Because Lincoln's life reminds us, no matter how hard your beginning, you can change your ending. Maybe you have nothing today. Maybe you are failing again and again. But your story is not over yet. Because history is often written by those who, even in the face of the impossible, say, "I will not give up."